In 2018, when I began transitioning from commission stylist to booth renter and I hit my first 10K month, I was so excited, but I also panicked. I didn't have a real system. I was pretty much winging it, hoping the money would sort itself out. Spoiler alert, it didn't. Fast forward to today, and I'm consistently bringing in 20K a month as a hairstylist and keeping 40% of that as actual profit. No burnout, no guesswork, just a sustainable, strategic hairstylist business that finally supports me. But once I understood how to structure my pricing, simplify services, and actually track where the money was going, everything changed. So in this training, I'm walking you through the exact framework I now teach others to help hairstylists double their income without working more hours or burning out. Here's what we're going to cover today. Number 1, why most hairstylists stay broke even when they're booked out, and the Salon CEO money system that changed everything for me. Number 2, how to price for profit, not emotion, so you know exactly how much to charge to thrive, not just survive. And 3, the strategic upgrades I made to my client experience that allowed me to raise my prices and actually retain my best fit clients. So let's get started with the profit gaps most hairstylists don't see. A few years ago, as a booth renter, I was staring at my booking calendar thinking, I am slammed this month, like I should be killing it. But when I looked at my bank account, it told a completely different story. I remember standing in the back room eating a granola bar between clients when I was wondering, where the hell is all the money going? And that's when I finally started paying attention, not just to how full my calendar was, but to what the actual numbers were saying. And what I learned changed everything. There are 3 money buckets that you need to be aware of as a booth renter or a salon owner. So let's talk about number 1. First, there's the profit from the salon itself. So for example, if you have team members or say that you rent out your space to other people, this includes your share from their commission, their rent, maybe even their retail sales. This is your business's income, not yours. Then the second bucket is the money from your behind the chair business. This is what you personally earn when you're doing client work. So even if you're the owner, you're on the floor, you're functioning like a service provider. That money goes in your stylist bucket. And finally, there is your salon owner salary. And this is where most of us miss the mark because you're not just doing hair, you're doing payroll, you are managing inventory, you are training staff maybe you're running media campaigns, you are fixing the toilet when it breaks on a Saturday. And if you are doing the work of a CEO, you deserve a paycheck for that role too. And here's the part that really stung when my financial coach said it to me, which was if you don't start treating those 3 buckets like separate roles, your business will always bleed money and you won't even know where the hole is. And that hit because it was so relatable. And I think it's why most hairstylists stay overworked, they stay underpaid, and they stay resentful. And so if you're only focusing on filling your book, but not actually thinking about how to increase your profitability across all 3 roles, you're going to stay stuck. And so I'm sure that you're wondering, well, how do I even begin making more money so I can start filling these 3 buckets? Which brings me to my next point. So we all love Starbucks, we're hairstylists. So you know how when you go into Starbucks, drink sizes are called tall, grande, and venti. They could have just called them small, medium, and large, but they didn't. Why? Because Starbucks didn't want to be the cheap coffee shop. They wanted to feel premium, even though at the end of the day, we're all just buying coffee. But it was the language, it was the packaging, it was the vibe. It makes you feel like you're treating yourself like a fancy Italian, not just getting caffeine. And here's what's wild. We don't walk out when a coffee costs $7. We upgrade it with oat milk, a flavor shot, or cold foam, for example, because Starbucks trained us to believe that we deserve it. And when I started thinking about my salon services in this way, it changed everything for me. So I began looking at my service menu and I gave it a glow up, not just a price increase, but what I call a reframe. I began asking myself, okay, what is the Starbucks version of this haircut? How do I turn this into an experience, not just a service? And how can I create premium add-ons that invite clients to upgrade? So for me, for example, I added a grounding breathwork ritual at the shampoo bowl. I started adding aromatherapy. I created a luxury hot oil scalp treatment, or even using sound healing sometimes. I also really simplified my booking system so it was very easy and seamless for customers. And then I raised my rates to reflect the transformation, not just the time. And guess what happened? The right clients didn't just stay, they were thrilled to pay more because they could feel the difference. They could feel that value. So you want to think about your salon business in the same way, and how can you create your own Starbucks version of premium add-ons? If you're afraid clients are going to leave when you raise your prices, I want you to know this. People don't mind paying more when it feels worth more. You just have to lead them there. So if you're still in the space of needing more clients, then let's talk about my next shift. Let me ask you something. Have you ever walked into a luxury hotel like the Four Seasons or the Ritz-Carlton and noticed how everything just works? You're greeted by name, your room is ready, your preferences are remembered, and there's soft music that matches the lighting and the scent. No one's scrambling, yet everything is done with intention and ease, and that's automation at work. It doesn't feel robotic, it feels elevated. And that's what we want your salon business to feel like with your clients, because when you're trying to grow to consistent 10 to 20K months, your energy becomes the most expensive thing in the business. You can't waste it constantly answering DMs, text messages, chasing deposits, or doing all of your marketing and sales manually. This is where automated systems and smart AI tools come in, not to replace the heart and soul of your business, but to support it even in your marketing and sales. So here's what I mean. A booking system that syncs with your availability and sends reminders without you lifting a finger. AI follow-up text messages that rebook clients, send intake forms, or gather testimonials. Preset nurture sequences that welcome new clients, deliver your policies, or upsell them to your higher ticket services. Even using AI to batch create your marketing and email content or generate captions so you're not stuck staring at a blank screen for hours is incredible. You don't need to become a tech expert. You just need to be intentional about setting up your systems now before you're fully booked out and burned out. When I started leveraging automation, it didn't just make my business feel more professional, it made it feel premium. And even better, I didn't have to hire a front desk person or a marketing agency. Clients just noticed, and they spent more because they could feel the energetic shift. And so if you're trying to grow across all three roles in your business, behind the chair, salon owner, and CEO, automation isn't optional, it's actually required. It's what gives you your time back without you sacrificing the entire brand experience. And this is how we build a business that feels effortless and luxurious, just like those hotels. All right, are you ready for the final part? This one is a goodie. Let's talk real numbers for a second, because that's what we're here for, right? When Serena first joined my mentorship in 2021, she was an insanely talented stylist, but she was burnt out, barely scraping by, and using Groupon for discounts. Her monthly income hovered around 2 to 3K, but she had zero systems in place to grow. Within just a few months of mentorship, structure, and strategy, she tripled her income, not by doing more services or slashing her prices, but by repositioning her offer, creating premium add-ons, and learning how to market like a high-level boss. And this is what mentorship does. It collapses the timeline between where you're at now and where you know you could be. And let's be honest, if you're a salon owner or a booth renter who already has clients, skills, and a passion for transformation, your next breakthrough isn't going to come from another freebie or random podcast. It's going to come from somebody who's already done what you want to do and can show you the exact steps that actually work. In my own journey, I didn't start seeing consistent 20K months until I invested in higher level mentorship with someone who understood how to scale a hairstylist business and build real wealth without burnout. And yes, I had to make those investments before I felt ready, but here's the truth most people won't say out loud. You're not gonna build a six-figure freedom-filled hairstyling business with a $0 plan and a bunch of scattered energy. Mentorship helps you stop wasting time in trial and error mode. It gives you clarity, structure, and confidence so you can make decisions faster and take bolder action with support. Because at the end of the day, this work is emotional, it is vulnerable. You are changing how you see yourself, how you price, how you sell, and how you lead. That's not something you need to figure out alone, and you shouldn't have to. If you want to plug into a high caliber space of beauty professionals who are thinking bigger, building smarter, and making real money from their hairstyling business, I've got a free community link below to help you get started. And if you're ready to work together, there is a link for that too in the description. It is pretty incredible that your salon business doesn't have to follow the old rules anymore to make more money fast. You don't need to burn out behind the chair, double book all the time just to survive, or spend years guessing your way to your own profitability. You just need a system that works and the support to actually implement it. Now that you've got my full strategy on how to master your profitability as a hairstylist, you will want to watch out for the common mistakes that happen when we make changes in our business. And I cover all of that in my training, How I Make 20K Months as a Hairstylist, so you can just copy me.